Hey, I'm Olivia, and you're listening to Soarin Around WDW. Welcome back, flight crew. We are here this week with a special guest, but before we get into the episode, wanted to go through some Disney news because there has been a lot in the last few weeks. The first thing is the Beak and Barrel Lounge. That is what the new Pirates Lounge is going to be called. That is opening later this year in Adventureland at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. Some more concept art was released, as well as details about what will be inside, including a Barker bird named Rummy, and the two rooms will be named the Mess and the Captain's Quarters. So exciting to see some more information to come on that. The concept art looks really neat, and I'm excited to see what this space looks like when it's finished. Also, on May 7th, Disney did announce its 7th theme park in Abu Dhabi on Yas Island, and no other information has really been released except some very vague concept art. There have been a lot of mixed feelings on this. I would love to get Regan on here to talk about his feelings in the coming weeks, but I think a lot of people were expecting a 5th gate to be opened in Walt Disney World before they did another international theme park, but Disney is not really footing the bill for this. So they, will make profit from it. Technically, the Imagineers will be used for it, but they do not own it. So this entertainment group is the group that will actually own the rights to the park. And so unfortunately, that is, a lot of people are disappointed about the location because of some different, rights issues that have come up over in that area of the world. And so I don't know, there's going to be a lot to come in the coming months, obviously waiting to hear a lot more about that park, but it was a big shock. Nobody was really expecting that at all. And they did also unveil the new test track ride vehicles. Daytime testing has also been going on for a few weeks now. The cars honestly do not look that different from the originals. So I don't know. I really don't have super high hopes for this version of Test Track. I am looking forward to it hopefully being back closer to the original version because version 2.0 was to me. But yeah, we'll just kind of see what happens here as they start to continue to do the test runs, and then it opens up in some part of 2025. They have not announced an official date yet. The free dining deal that was happening at Walt Disney World for the remainder of 2025 is no longer available. Disney got rid of this perk pretty quietly, so hopefully you already booked any other trips you were planning for 2025 if you wanted to take advantage of this deal. The 2026 free kids, so kids 3 to 9 years old dining plan, if you purchase an adult plan, is still available. But if you didn't snag the 2025 or 2026 dining plan deal, don't worry. We really don't super love this quote-unquote deal anyway, and can give you tips to work around it for less money either way without the deal. So it's totally okay if you didn't end up getting that deal or don't have that as part of your plan. The new villain show at Hollywood Studios, Unfairly Ever After, has 15 show times listed for its opening day on May 27th. They do remain the same throughout the end of June as far as we can see per Disney's entertainment calendar, and that's a lot of chances to see this new show. So I'm excited that it's coming. I'm excited that they have so many opportunities to see it. So we will see what it's like here in just a couple of days. The Lightning Lane was announced for the new Little Mermaid show at Hollywood Studios, but no option for Unfairly Ever After has been added yet. And speaking of the Little Mermaid, Jodie Benson, the original voice of Ariel, made a surprise appearance at dress rehearsal of the new Little Mermaid show, returning to Hollywood Studios on May 27th, the same day as the Unfairly Ever After villain show. So looking forward to seeing both of these the next time that we're at Hollywood Studios. There was also another fire in the parks, and this was at a popcorn stand. It happened on Mother's Day in Epcot. Luckily, no one was harmed, but there have been way too many fires at the parks lately. I don't know what's been going on with the heat or whatnot, safety checks, but a lot more fires than there need to be. There should be none. Mickey's Not So Scary has been announced for 2025, and it will run from August 15th through October 31st. Party tickets have been available since May 15th for resort guests and became available May 22nd for everybody else. So they are out there. Look at your tickets now. Certain dates sell out very fast. So if you're looking for the actual Halloween date or dates close to Halloween, if they're not already sold out, they will be soon. So make sure that you make your plans well in advance. The Food and Wine Festival has also been announced, and it will run from August 28th through November 22nd of this year. And Living with the Land will have a food and wine themed overlay as well, which is super fun. I love when they do little things like that throughout the park, but that's really all that's been announced so far. Big Thunder at Magic Kingdom has had testing of the ride vehicles, making everyone wonder, how close are we to reopening? Hopefully very soon. They had said that it would be about a year-long process when it closed in January, so I am hoping it might not actually be that long, although we don't have any definitive plans to go back to Disney World this year. We're heading to Disneyland here in just a couple of weeks, and we're planning a Disney World trip for the spring. So hopefully it is back up and running by the time that we're back there, because we absolutely love that ride. And then construction has also started on the Spider-Man themed land in Shanghai. So we're really looking forward to that. We will get into that a little bit in the episode with Madi, because he super loves Spider-Man. So we are really excited about this. And this might actually force our family to eventually go over to the Shanghai park, which I've been wanting to do for a few years now. Epic Universe is also now open. The waits leading up to the opening were up to 300 minutes for the Ministry of Magic attraction. So that's almost 5 hours long, or is 5 hours long. I'm curious how this will hold up in the coming weeks. Will they do virtual queue? Will they not do virtual queue? Kind of what will change here in these first few opening days, but it is exciting to have a new theme park. There's lots of chatter about it. And to be honest, it just brings more competition to Disney and makes Disney start to come up with even better ideas. So hoping that it'll bring some positive impacts to Disney as well. The Zootopia trailer also dropped on May 20th and looks super cute. We love the Zootopia movie, and we're looking forward to the new show coming to Animal Kingdom. So the Zootopia 2 trailer was perfect timing and definitely is getting us excited to go back to Animal Kingdom at some point next year to see that show. That's all that I have today for Disney news. I hope that you guys enjoy my talk with my husband, Madi, and looking forward for y'all to get to know him a little bit more. Enjoy the episode. All right, everybody. This week we have a very special guest on the podcast with us, longtime listener and friend of the podcast, my husband, Madison. So welcome to the podcast, Madi.
Thank you.
When I say longtime listener, I'm sarcastic because he has listened to exactly 0 episodes of this podcast, but he is a big fan, right?
Half of an episode, I think.
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't know.
Anyways, so he took some time out of his very busy schedule to come be a guest because I've been asking him to, and he's on a break from school now, so he has no excuses not to do this with me. But wanted to kind of back up to a little bit about us. So we started dating in our your sophomore year, my junior year of high school, right before that started, right?
I thought it was my end of my freshman year.
Yeah. So right before your sophomore year, right before my junior year. We were 15, and we have been together ever since with a very short stint of a breakup that ties into Disney. So we'll talk about that as well as we get into things here. But yeah, so we started dating in high school, and I don't think that you knew at all what you were getting into with my family's obsession with Disney, did you?
No, not at all.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that too. But first of all, so we lived in Florida. Madi grew up in Florida, was born and raised there. I moved to Florida from Michigan when I was very young. Obviously, we've talked about that a lot on the podcast. In 1999, we moved down and became Disney obsessed shortly thereafter. And so Madi did get to do a couple of Disney trips as a kid. So I kind of wanted to hear a little bit more about what was your first trip to Disney World? How old were you?
I think I was 4 years old at the time. I think my grandfather had taken me there, and I can't remember if it was for my birthday or if it was just because he kind of took me there. But yeah, very memorable experience. The one ride I remember very vividly was Space Mountain.
You were 4?
I was 4, yeah. So that's the one ride that I vividly remember because I think I was clinging on to my bunny for dear life, and I'm pretty sure when I came off that ride, my grandfather said that I had not basically spoken for the rest of the day. I was that kind of traumatized after riding Space Mountain.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like as a 4-year-old, that ride would be traumatizing. Eiley was 6 and she was like pretty traumatized afterwards. So I can only imagine. So it was you, I'm guessing your parents, your grandpa.
I think it was just, I don't want to say it was me, my grandfather, and then maybe my step grandmother. I don't think my parents were there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think they were there.
Oh, they took you by yourself?
I think so.
So did you ever go as a kid with your parents?
That's a good question.
I'll have to ask your mom.
Yeah, I don't recall. I really think after that experience at Disney World, I don't think from what I can recall, I don't think I went to a theme park until like 8th grade, like an 8th grade field trip. I can't recall going to any of the parks in Orlando after that.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so funny because obviously, so Maddie grew up in the same town that I did, so Bradenton, Sarasota area, and so obviously very close to the parks, very close to Busch Gardens, Universal, obviously near Disney and all that. So that's crazy. We had like such a different childhood experience of theme parks.
Different, yeah.
That's
wild.
That's so funny. So do you remember any other rides that you went on, or literally just Space Mountain? I mean, you were pretty young, so I guess the thing that traumatized you is what you remember the most.
Yeah, I'm sure we went on some other stuff, like maybe some kiddie rides. But yeah, I just remember that one experience being horrible.
Do you have a photo from that ride? Do you remember? Did you guys buy the photo? Probably not.
Probably,
if it was just your
not. It was
grandparents.
probably so bad that it wasn't worth purchasing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Okay, so when in the point of our dating did you realize just how Disney obsessed my family was? Was it pretty early on? I mean, we went together pretty early on.
Yeah, I can't really recall. I want to say it was maybe one of the Halloween parties that we went to.
Okay. And that's how you remember like being like, okay, this is like, they're serious about this. You didn't realize before that with my dad, like his house or anything?
No, I don't think I really picked up on it.
Okay.
I feel like we never really like talked about it too much early on. I feel like one of the Halloween events was probably one of the first times where like you, me, your dad, and maybe Regan as well.
Okay.
Went on it.
Yeah.
I don't think we really went like any other times.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I remembered when I was going through this. Was our first trip together was when we were 15, that October time, or maybe September, sometime around Halloween for the Halloween party. And do you remember what we dressed up as?
Was that the Alfalfa and Darla one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so we dressed up as Alfalfa and Darla from the Little Rascals, and literally no one knew who I was, but everyone knew who you were, and I dyed my hair brown for it.
That was bad.
And it took forever to get back to blonde. My mom was not happy with me, and you wore like the full like suspenders, bow tie, like the whole getup.
Yeah, I went all out.
Yeah, you did, and I basically wore like a leotard and tights like when she was in a dance scene, but no one had any idea who I was. So that's what I remember about that trip. But then we did also go for my 16th birthday, and we stayed at the Swan and Dolphin. And this was the trip where we waited actually like 2 hours in line for Toy Story Mania because it had just first opened that year. Do you remember that?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. We got in a big argument, and then I got out of line, and then almost went all the way back to the hotel, and then got back in line. You don't remember that? We were there with my mom and my Aunt Ruth.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that was like our second trip together. And then the next year, so that would have been 2010, I had just graduated and was just about to turn 17. And so for that birthday, I graduated, I was 16, was about to turn 17 a few weeks later. And then you decided to break up with me, right? Well, you weren't going to break up with me. You were going to wait until after I took you to Disney for my birthday. And then my mom like talked to your mom or whatever, and we ended up breaking up. And I was so devastated. But so my Aunt Ruth and mom and cousin Latoya, who's been on the podcast a few times, took me still to Disney, and I was so upset. But I remember that this trip so well because my mom and Aunt Ruth rode Tower of Terror with me. And my mom does not do any rides like that. She does not even do the carousel. She does not do the teacups. She did do Tiana's with Eiley, when we went just a couple months ago. That I was shocked by that. But yeah, that's what I remember from that trip was like us breaking up. We got back together a couple of months later, but I was like so devastated. So to make me feel better, they rode Tower of Terror, which was funny because that's my favorite ride of all time. And then when we got into college, we actually went a lot more often. We went to University of South Florida, go Bulls, and we got annual passes for Universal a couple of times in a row, years in a row, because they were like very cheap, like $125 a year or something crazy like that, right?
Yeah, it was like $100 a year or something like that.
Yeah, it was very cheap. And then we went across, USF is right across from Busch Gardens in Tampa. So we went there, and that was dirt cheap.
That was the biggest deal. It was like
$50 or something for the whole year.
Free parking.
Yeah. So
and you could get in and out of the park in like, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour, like hit the main rides and
scoot out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
fantastic.
go to class on a Wednesday, go after school and like rides and roller coasters and go back because it was like, took 2 or 3 hours out of your day by the time you drove, park, whatever, because it was literally right across the street.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, that was great. But then your senior year and my first year out of college, we finally got Disney annual passes and went a lot, even just for like half the day. So we'd like go for, the evening, go on Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, watch Fantasmic, come back or whatever, because it was about an hour drive from where we went to school. I mean, now it probably would take longer because the traffic is way worse. But at the time, it was a lot easier. Mm-hmm. So what else do you remember about our time in college and like having annual passes and going? Do you remember anything specifically about that time period?
I feel like I vividly remember the last time we went to Disney. Like, I don't know why I remember that. Maybe it's because it was like our last experience before we moved.
Yeah.
I do remember that. I feel like it was probably just, I remember sitting in the car for some reason because I-4 traffic was just terrible, I feel like, on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So I do remember that. Was it in college when we dressed up as Peter Pan and Tinkerbell? Was that college or was that high school?
No, that was college. So Halloween, we went actually a few times before we got passes. And then I think the last year we had our passes, we went to. But one year we dressed up as Tinkerbell and Peter Pan. And then another year we dressed up as Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. So
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
Not as vivid as Peter Pan and Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
We have a picture of it.
We have pictures of both.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll have to show you. I remember Peter Pan and Tinkerbell because you wore tights like a trooper in the Disney heat the whole night. And those costumes are actually great. That was awesome costume. And then the Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, I remember because I actually had this long wig that I braided and then clipped into my ponytail. And I remember getting there and putting it on like in the bathroom outside of Magic Kingdom, like at the Ticket and Transportation Center, and all these little kids like watching me do it. And they were like, it almost like ruined the magic for them. I don't know. Like they thought I was like Rapunzel getting dressed for work. It was funny. Our costumes were pretty legit actually.
Yeah,
so
they were good.
Yeah, we had a good time. So Halloween is definitely my favorite holiday, obviously. And so I know Christmas is your favorite holiday, but has Halloween kind of grown on you since we've been together?
No.
No? No. But you participate.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like I appreciate it more than when I was in like high school and stuff. I still think in terms of like the bigger holidays, if we want to call it that, it's definitely below Christmas and it's definitely below Thanksgiving, in my opinion.
Oh, still below Thanksgiving even.
Yeah, I mean, the Thanksgiving food is fantastic.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? This is kind of off topic. I was actually talking about this earlier today. I do have I think this was in college, and this might be appreciated by the audience, but I do remember seeing Taylor Swift in Magic Kingdom.
Oh, yes. Okay, I actually was going to ask you about this. So,
yeah.
So that's right. So you went, I was not with you.
No?
So you went to Disney. It must have been with your family. I was not there. I remember you calling me and I was so pissed that I wasn't there because you got to see. So tell people the story.
I mean, there's not much to say, but I remember it was in Magic Kingdom and it was in it was in Frontierland, if I'm remembering correctly. And I just remember there being like a circle of bodyguards, and I was very just curious, right, as to why was there just this circle of like 10 or 12 bodyguards in Magic Kingdom, right? In very easily identifiable, like,
Black.
Suits and
Sunglasses. Like exactly what you'd think.
Very much
like the Secret Service.
Very what you kind of think of in terms of a bodyguard. But I don't remember how. I think it's because there was such a decent distance from where I think I was at, more by like maybe Haunted Mansion, and I think she was more by what's the food place that's in Frontierland?
Well, Haunted Mansion's not in Frontierland.
Well, like in Frontierland, you can kind of see from Haunted Mansion, right?
Oh, the food place, like Pecos Bill.
I don't know, but it was closer towards
like Splash.
Yeah, closer towards Splash.
You were all the way by Haunted Mansion. You could see all the way by Splash.
No, not by Splash, but like the midway point in between.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Between what. You know what I'm talking
like
about.
Like by Liberty Tree?
A little bit past that. Like a little bit closer towards...
going towards Frontierland. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember seeing her there. And this was obviously like... I'm trying to think. This was probably...
high school.
Yeah,
so
long. This was like... She was obviously popular, but she was like nowhere...
2000s. She was like... early 2000s. Well, mid. She
was like nowhere near popular as she is now. Yeah. But I do remember seeing her there. And that was a pretty cool experience at the time. I'm trying to think of anyone else famous that I have
seen at the
parks. I want to say that was probably like the biggest deal.
Yeah, I feel like I've only ever seen like football players or something at the parks, like NFL guys. And my dad would be like, "Oh, that's so and so." I'd be like, "Cool." Like,
have we not seen like a professional athlete? I feel like we've seen
basketball players.
Yeah, have we not seen like a basketball player or something like that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I feel like the only other celebrity I can remember us seeing when we've been together was Ludacris at LAX. Or we thought we saw Ludacris at LAX. It probably wasn't even Ludacris.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't? When we flew back from somewhere? I don't remember where we were going.
I don't remember that at all.
That's funny. I can't think of anybody else at Disney that we've seen that wasn't like intentional, like Simple Plan playing at Epcot, which we haven't, but like whatever. Like somebody that was playing there, like they were, I don't know, famous people.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty cool famous person.
I mean, yeah, no kid, especially nowadays. Like you said, back then she wasn't quite as famous, but like she was still very obviously.
I think nowadays she probably couldn't even go out and do something like that anymore.
No, I know that'd be
wild.
That would be so crazy. Okay, so what was your favorite costume that we've dressed up? So our family almost every year does a Disney theme, obviously, for Halloween costumes. So what's been your favorite that we've dressed up as? Is it Peter Pan? I feel like that's a cop-out answer, but...
Wait, is this like you and me, or...
Any of them.
Any of them. Huh.
With kids, without kids. Because we've done quite a few. We've done Peter Pan, we've done Rapunzel.
Go through the list.
Rapunzel, The Incredibles. We did... What did we do when Eiley was a tiny baby?
We got a picture up there.
Well, that's Toy Story.
That one's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, Toy Story is one of my favorites for sure. And then Beauty and the Beast, you did Gaston, and we were the Bells.
I feel like if we could have gotten, was it this past year or the year before? If we could have gotten the Encanto down, that would have been. It didn't go well with
Nike.
The dog, and then Blake with her glasses.
No, it was the wig. She loved the glasses, but she kept ripping the wig off.
Yeah. And then my mustache was like super itchy. So I feel like if we could have nailed that down, that would have been a really, really good one. But the Buzz Lightyear one or the Toy Story one was pretty.
Frozen was actually really good too.
Yeah, it was good.
Like this cute little Olaf and Nike was Sven.
Yeah, it was good. I think the between the sweatshirt from Disney that has the Buzz Lightyear outfit and then the wings are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Well, spoiler alert, our outfit for DCA when we go in June is Toy Story themed. So our fit, what did the famous like influencers call it? Like your Disney bounding as like Toy Story. You'll see.
What does DCA mean?
Disney California Adventure. Sir, get with the times.
Gotcha. I don't know these abbreviations. You just have to
explain them out.
I would probably say that the Toy Story outfit was probably my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. And what do you like about the Halloween party at the parks? What's your favorite part about that?
I think as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate the parade.
Yeah,
And
the parade's
the
legit.
the parade is really cool. I can remember like they've modified it over the years, right? Like with COVID and everything, didn't they modify some stuff, or have they kind of kept it the same?
To me, it's like pretty similar. The big thing that they changed, which we've talked about on this podcast too, is the headless horseman used to sprint on the horse. Like the horse would be fast, and now he just kind of like trots through.
Okay.
But then, like, I mean, almost everything else, they've changed characters from year to years. Like now they have Wreck-It Ralph with like Vanellope and the big candy machine and stuff like that. But like the clucking chicken, that's the same. The haunted mansion, that's the same. The villains, they have, I mean, a little bit, but for the most part, it's a really cool parade.
I feel like when I was like in high school, it was all about the candy.
Oh yeah,
I was just happy to get free candy,
which is so funny, free, but then you pay how much money? Well, I mean,
yeah.
back then though, the tickets were so much cheaper.
They were, and I think it was cool too. Like I don't know how they do it nowadays, but it definitely seemed like when we were younger, they like legitimately kept it to a certain percentage of the park. And I feel like as like I feel like a couple years ago when we went and we were just baking in the line.
Oh my God, yes, it was so hot.
I feel like I was like, this seems like this is just like a normal park kind of day. Like how many people were there?
Yeah, but we still got to do a lot. I feel like because when we got in the last few times, we went right at 4, right before, a little before 4 to get in and baked in the sun. And but then that was still when regular park hours, like people were still in the park. And then once they left though, and it got nighttime, like it was much cooler. Number one, and number two, we got on things pretty quick because the wait times dropped. Like Eiley rode Big Thunder Mountain like 4 times in a row.
Yeah, but I think initially it was just the candy part, and then as I've gotten older, it's probably been more of the parade. I think it's really really cool.
Would you go for the Christmas party?
I only recall going to the one time.
No, we went to Osborne Spectacle of Lights at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, is that a different thing?
Yeah, that's different than the Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom. Would you go to that?
Are we choosing?
Yeah, if you had to choose.
If I'm choosing, I'm probably going to Christmas.
Really?
Right? Because the weather in Florida is fantastic at that point in time.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
December timeframe in Florida is like probably one of the few times you want to actually be there. So I would do that. I'm also just a huge Christmas guy. So I think I'd be more inclined.
Yeah.
But they do a really good job with Halloween. I'll give Disney that. So.
Yeah. What do you remember about the Osborne Spectacle of Lights thing? I remember one specific thing.
Oh, I remember it was cold.
Yeah, Florida cold, which is funny.
Like,
now I think you probably wouldn't think it's that cold.
It was, yeah.
How cold was it, do you think?
It must have been in like the high 30s.
No way.
Low 40s, high 30s.
Maybe 40s. I don't think it was. It's like never 30s there.
Dude, it was cold. It was like gross cold.
But did you like it?
It was okay.
Oh gosh, I loved Osborne Spectacle of Lights. I thought it was so cool.
Like, as bad as it sounds, I just think what I remember from it was just getting a hot chocolate because I was so cold.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I honestly can't really remember the lights too much. I just remember getting hot chocolate because I was cold that night.
That is funny. Okay, and then you went on a Disney cruise for your senior year trip. So our high school they actually still do. They just went, all the seniors. I just saw a picture. They do a senior cruise each year, and of course, my class, I graduated 1 year before Madi. They did not want to do a Disney cruise, and we did Royal Caribbean, and it was trash. And the class before us and Maddie's class did a Disney cruise. They still always do a Disney cruise now. And so you got to go your senior year. That was just like to the Bahamas, and you went to Castaway Key, their like private island. So what do you remember about that cruise in particular versus when we went with your sister? That was they were like 7 years apart. So
yeah, I thought it was pretty comparable.
I think it was the same cruise, actually.
Yeah. It was a really fun trip. That was my first cruise experience ever. So
the only cruise experience you've ever had has been Disney. We've never been on another cruise.
Yeah. So I really really enjoyed it. I think just the amount of like things you can kind of do while you're on the cruise is pretty wild. I do remember. I think it was that. I don't remember if it was that one or we went with my sister. Did we check out the where they do like plays and stuff? Was that something
we did? No, we did we watched a couple of like the nighttime show plays, but then I remember you talking about the movie theater, like being obsessed with the movie theater that you could see movies your senior trip.
I think that's because they just had like you could go any time of the day and watch like superhero movies. And I thought that was like the coolest thing. For some reason, but I remember the play thing being pretty cool. Like live action. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. And then we did one night we went to this room or something, and we did like it was like a karaoke night or trivia night or something.
They have both. Yeah.
I remember that being pretty cool. So yeah, I think overall it was a really good experience.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely enjoyed the one. And we've only done Disney cruises pre-children, which is kind of funny. We're like looking into them to plan one once our youngest, Blake, is a little bit older, fully out of diapers, not having to rely as much on naps. So we're starting to plan for the future with Katie, our travel agent at 2+3 Travelers. And yeah, so we're looking into it. So what would be your dream Disney cruise? Like, where would you want to go?
Yeah, I don't know. What are my options? I don't really know what my options. Don't know what I don't know.
Well, like, so the Caribbean, they have like longer ones other than just the Bahamas, or like Jamaica, Mexico, stuff like that. And then they also have the Alaska cruises, Europe cruises. Now they have like Norwegian cruises. And then they also do this like San Diego to Vancouver cruise, but you don't really get off. It's just like get on in San Diego and then get off in Vancouver. Those are like,
I feel like a Mediterranean or a Norwegian cruise would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
That would probably be my first options.
Yeah, I don't know. We are gonna have to like try it with the kids first. I think a shorter one, but then that would be cool once they're older. I definitely want to do Alaska. I think that would be so cool. There's like so much to see up there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot of cool options. Once you do a Disney cruise, I'm telling you as someone who's done another cruise, it ruins you. You only want to do a Disney cruise. It's so nice. It's clean. There are a lot of kids, but like we have kids, so we don't really care about that. And just even as an adult, even with going without the kids, I think it's so fun. The karaoke, the food, the stage shows, the trivia, all of it. There's just so much for people without kids, people with kids, everybody. It's really cool. So we are going to leave Disneyland for our pre-trip episode in a few weeks. But the other night we were talking about your favorite Disney movies. So I know your favorite classic is Peter Pan. So what other cartoon classic kind of movies do you love of Disney?
I really like Mulan.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic movie. Mm-hmm. And actually earlier tonight, the girls and I were watching Emperor's New Groove.
You're really into that again lately.
Really like that. And I really like Ratatouille.
That's more of like a Pixar. Yeah. So like
like original?
Yeah, like original.
Okay.
Well, like Emperor's New Groove counts. Mulan counts.
Yeah.
Extremely goofy movie.
I mean, that's not like a top. That's not a top for me. I only really enjoy the Goofy movie if we're being real because of Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I really enjoyed that movie, just because he says some off the wall things that are just hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, definitely Mulan. Definitely. What did I say? Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Emperor's New Groove.
So what other like newer ones? So Pixar ones. So Ratatouille.
Newer ones.
Or just Pixar, yeah.
Oh, Pixar. Definitely the Toy Story series minus the fourth one. I'm just not a fan of the fourth one.
No, yeah.
So 1, 2, and 3. Absolutely love all of those movies. Low key, I'm a fan of Monsters Inc. I think Monsters Inc. And Monsters University. I really liked.
Yeah, you like both.
I like both of those. Trying to think of some of the mainstream Pixar movies, like some of the, I feel like a lot of the newer ones in the last 5 years haven't really hit it out of the park for me. Like they've been good,
yeah,
but they haven't been on the level of some of the OG
Toy Story. Yeah, it's hard to beat
some of the OG Pixar movies. I know that may disagree with what the audience rates things.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what are some other, like, what are some common ones that we watch a lot, Pixar wise.
Well, Frozen.
Yeah, no. Okay, we can let's bypass that.
What about non-animated movies?
Non-animated movies?
Action adventure, Disney movies. Which ones are your favorites? We love Pirates.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, that's a great series. I'm trying to like picture the rides and all the different parks. I really think the Haunted Mansion movies are good.
Both?
Yeah, I like both. I know the second one just got rated as one of like the
worst movies or whatever.
Top 10 busts in Disney. But I really liked the second one. Definitely a little on the creepier side. So I have actually recently adopted an interest for Tron.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I watched in kind of preparation for the new one kind of coming out. I watched Tron Legacy. Is that the one that came out in 2010 or something like that? And definitely like a confusing movie to watch. Like you really have to like pay attention and understand. But that one, I think that played a role too in like when I went on the Tron ride in Magic Kingdom, like I just wasn't like super interested in it. But I feel like now since I have like an understanding of the story, I would be interested to go on the ride again.
Yeah.
To kind of gain a little bit of an appreciation for Tron. I think I would like it better.
National Treasure.
Yeah, no.
I love National Treasure.
I'm not like, I know there's like, I'm trying to think of all the different parks. So like, I know a lot of people are like Avatar fans. I'm not really an Avatar fan. I could kind of do without that. Kind of shifting to Hollywood. What's in Hollywood? Like,
Star Wars.
I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. That's probably going to go against the audience's interest.
Jones.
Yeah, probably more of the newer Indiana Jones. I'm like an OG Indiana Jones fan.
You like the newer ones?
I like the newer ones.
Really?
I mean, I like the older ones too. I think the newer. Maybe it's because I'm more familiar with the newer ones. What else we got in Hollywood Studios? What else is there? Kind of movie related.
The rest of them are kind of Tower of Terror, obviously one of the best movies of all time.
That's not bad. And let's think. What we got? Epcot. Is there anything like really besides Avenger or Marvel stuff?
No. So what is your opinion? You used to be huge Marvel fan. You would see them all when they come out, but now how have you felt about, what do you think? Do you love Guardians of the Galaxy as much as you loved like the other Avengers? You like them, don't you?
I mean, I'm super, my favorite is obviously Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
So anything Spider-Man related, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I will definitely watch it. I feel like that kind of side of Disney is just, it got too saturated.
Yeah.
And so it was hard to kind of keep up with things. It was hard to really kind of appreciate things as they were kind of coming out. I think the way they're kind of doing things now, where they're definitely spacing things out, makes me like much more excited. Like I just saw recently the Thunderbolts. I thought that was really good. I'm super, super pumped to see the new Fantastic Four movie. I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then with, what was it, Avengers Doomsday coming out in 2026, I think it is. I'm super pumped to kind of see that and really revamp the whole Avengers kind of deal. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like I'm like a hardcore Marvel fan. Like some people have seen like all the movies.
My brother,
yeah,
Regan.
Probably not to that extent. I'm good enough to have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
But if we're going to trivia night, I'm probably not your guy.
I don't know that that's true. I feel like you know a lot about Marvel.
Probably not your guy.
Okay. Okay.
I thought I was the guy for The Office, and then we played a game in The Office, and I was terrible at it.
Well,
so.
There's also a ton of episodes of that show.
It's
what
fair.
about Disney Channel original movies?
Disney Channel original movies. So I know you are a huge fan of Brink.
Yes.
I think Brink is an OG just because I grew up watching like that.
So good. It's like so bad. It's so good.
It's like a 90s very relatable movie.
Yes.
I don't even know, was that 90 what? 90.
Oh, I'd have to look. Let me see. That's one
I'm going to guess it's like 97.
98.
98. Okay. So I feel like, at the time I was 5?
Yeah.
So I feel like that was definitely like oh man, that's awesome kind of deal. That's, I mean, all the Mighty Ducks series like that, those were fantastic. I'm trying to think of, especially the second one, that was my favorite. What else are we talking about? Like
Luck of the Irish.
That was good.
Smart House.
Don't really remember that one.
Johnny Tsunami.
Don't remember that one too.
Really?
Well. Yeah.
We need to watch that. We gotta watch these and do a little opinion about some of these.
Yeah, I have to kind of go through some of these things again.
There's Double Team Motocrossed.
I do remember Motocross. I remember that.
You like the very first Disney Channel original movie. I believe it was the very, well, I don't know.
Let's look
Some
at,
of these are listed. These are Disney Channel. Yeah, so Under Wraps.
Oh, that's that's a fantastic.
That's one of our favorite movies of all time.
So let's see. Let's just kind of go.
Lucky Dog, Brink.
Let's slowly kind of just scroll down the list and kind of see.
Halloween Town. Are you a fan?
I'm not a fan.
Ah,
not a fan.
Breaking my heart.
Let's go down a little bit. Just kind of slow. Yeah, no.
The 13th Year. Merman.
I do remember that.
Where
but
he's like, I'm a mermaid. You're a mermaid. Merman.
Let's scroll down. I don't recognize a lot of these movies.
Don't Look Under the Bed was kind of scary. Horse Sense, Up and Away.
Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire was a great movie.
Oh yeah.
Do you
remember Stepsister from Planet Weird?
No.
It's a freaking weird movie. We should watch that.
No.
Rip Girls about the surfers.
No.
Alley Cat Strike about the bowling.
No.
You don't remember any of these? Quince.
No.
What? The Other Me. You don't remember any of these?
Like half these movies.
Okay.
I know they made
the Irish. Did you see Jet Jackson?
I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you when I recognize the movie. Okay.
Cadet Kelly.
I'll tell you when I recognize the movie. Okay.
Okay, tell me.
Keep scrolling.
You don't recognize any of these?
Keep scrolling. I don't recognize.
What? We're like getting into out of our time frame though.
Yeah, I'm.
Cheetah Girls.
Man,
you recognize that?
Dude, I feel like I don't even. Yeah. Okay. Maybe the movies that I was kind of thinking
were more of these movies. These like Disney Channel premiere films.
Okay, so scroll through these and let's see if I recognize any of these.
So some of these are like old. Hold on, let's get to
maybe
like
the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know any of these movies. No. Oh, The Paper Brigade. That's a fantastic movie.
And Wish Upon a Star, Susie Q. Did you see any of those?
No.
Okay. Well, so what movies were you thinking of? Some of these are like, then these are way past.
Man, why am I thinking like President's Daughter, those kind of movies?
Okay,
were those Disney movies or no?
Those were not Disney Channel original movies, but they were like ABC.
Like associated?
Yeah, and so they are not on Disney Plus. My Date with the President's Daughter. What's the other one that we often talk about? There was another one that we were talking about the other day. Anyways. Yeah, My Date with the President's Daughter is great. Yeah. But those are considered...
Whatever list that was...
Would fall under?
Yeah, whatever kind of category movies that would fall under.
Yeah, it says it premiered on Walt Disney Television, like The Wonderful World of Disney. But it wasn't like a Disney Channel original movie because it was on ABC.
Was Blank Check in there or no? Was that something different?
Oh, Blank Check? I think that's the same as My Date with the President's Daughter. This might have been in the theaters. Anyways.
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like there are a lot of movies kind of like along. I mean, we were talking about this the other night. Like, Leave It a Beaver.
Yes. That's another one that I think was like ABC, like not technically Disney. That's a great movie.
Like absolutely fantastic movies. Another, what's his name?
Eric Von Denten, my man.
Von Denten.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I loved him back in the day. Obviously, Brink. That was like right up our alley. Well, it's funny. That says that was a Universal movie. Was it really?
I thought it was a Disney movie. I don't know.
Me too.
But
actually, I would have like bet on that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So we've got a lot we need to like rewatch while you're out of school this summer and talk about our opinions.
Yeah.
So here's some movies I think you should watch and we should record your reaction. Princess Diaries and Princess Diaries 2 with Chris Pine.
I should probably see that sometime.
I can't believe you've never seen Princess Diaries.
I should probably see that sometime.
Yeah, that's my top. I think we're going to start with that at some point. It's so good. Oh my gosh, so good. But I'm thinking of other ones. We have to go through the list. We'll have to make a list. Mm-hmm. So what did you think when you heard Regan kind of introduce the idea of the challenge to me?
I mean, with kind of how... Just when we're at Disney, it's just go, go, go.
Yeah.
It didn't really the thought of it didn't really surprise me.
Really? Did you think we could do it or were you like, no way this is possible?
I don't know. I think at first it seems very daunting, but when I feel like you guys know how to time things just correctly. So I don't think it was this impossible idea. It was it seemed like a very high likelihood that it'd be hard to do, but it wasn't it could never be done.
Okay. I feel like I thought, no way, that's impossible. And then Regan's like, no, here's this video of someone doing it. And I was like, oh, shoot. Okay. But
Yeah.
do you think you could do it?
If I trained for it, I probably could.
Yeah. I feel like Disneyland would be the better one to do for you because the parks are right next to each other versus having to like hop and take all that time. But Disney World, hopping between the parks, that's like the time suck. Like it gets you.
Could probably do it.
Okay.
It'd just be hard.
It is. It's hard. It's a lot on your body. It's hard. So rapid fire that we ask any guest on the show. So what is your favorite attraction at Magic Kingdom?
Magic Kingdom specifically. Yeah, I'm going Space Mountain.
Really? Still? What?
Yeah.
That is a hot take.
Love it.
Okay.
Absolutely love it.
Now you love it, even though it traumatized you.
Yeah, no, I think now I'm a huge fan of it. I absolutely love it. Although like I do feel like the whole time I have to keep my arms and legs just inside. I'm like closing my eyes the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I'm just so like scared that something's gonna happen. But I feel like the ride itself, maybe it's because the experience I had when I was younger. Maybe it just has like just such a connection with me.
It's ingrained in your brain.
That I really enjoy it.
Okay, what about at Epcot?
Guardians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hands. There's no.
Is that your favorite in all 4 parks?
Easy, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, that ride is amazing. It's so
Although I do like.
Oh God.
No one's probably gonna like this, but I like what's it? Planet or Spaceship Planet Earth or whatever it is.
Spaceship Earth.
Earth.
I think that's what Latoya said her favorite was.
I absolutely love
what
that
do you
ride.
like about it?
So I'm a history just guru. I love history.
History, not Disney history.
Yeah, like not Disney history, like actual real history. And so kind of going through time.
Real history.
Going through time and seeing things. I definitely appreciate that.
It is relaxing. It's air conditioned. It's nice, slow pace.
I'd be curious. I have not ridden in a while. I'd be curious to kind of see when they come up with the updates for whatchamacallit, Test Track. Is that what they're calling it nowadays?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to see
3.0.
3.0. I'd be curious to see how that is again.
I think it's not going to be that different, but we'll see. What about at Animal Kingdom?
Animal Kingdom. Mount Everest.
More than Flight of Passage, the Avatar ride?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you really were obsessed with that one.
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
I would probably say Mount Everest is 1, and then the Safari is 2.
Yeah, Safari's so good.
Safari's fantastic.
So good. What about at Hollywood? This is a hard choice now. I feel like there's so many good ones there.
Hollywood. Yeah, I'm gonna be really curious to see how Rock and Roller Coaster, right?
Yeah, you want to see the update with the Muppets?
I'll be curious. I mean, I think the Aerosmith part is gonna be missed.
Yeah,
for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that kind of turns out. I think the Aerosmith really makes that ride.
Yeah.
It definitely creates just a uniqueness about it. I would probably say, and I think this is because of the length of the ride too, but I think Toy Story Mania is a fantastic ride. Yes. I'd probably say Toy Story Mania, and then I have come to appreciate the ride, but more or less the part that leads up to it. I think I really enjoy Tower of Terror as well. I think it's just a really good kind of leading up to it. But I think for what you get, I think obviously you kind of get a lot of that with Toy Story Mania. Leading up to it is really, really well done. Yeah, but the ride itself is just absolutely fantastic.
It's so good. A little slinky.
It's fun. It definitely is fun.
And Rise of Resistance.
Yeah, I'm not a Star Wars fan, so like to me it's not a big deal. If I could just ride probably Toy Story Mania all day, I'd probably be pretty happy with that. Just on repeat.
What about your favorite show?
Indiana Jones.
Really?
Yep.
Hot take. I love Indiana Jones too, but that's not my favorite. But I love that.
Indiana Jones.
That is so funny.
Indiana Jones.
There might be a really funny SNL skit that's super inappropriate about Indiana Jones. That makes us laugh like we should not be laughing at it, but it's funny. What about your favorite ride that's now gone, that doesn't exist anymore, that they took away?
I don't even know. What are they taking away?
Well, I guess you didn't go as much as a kid, so I don't know if there's like the Great Movie Ride or Backlot Tour or the car stunt show. I guess we can say show or ride. Or Splash Mountain or...
Yeah, actually, the Great Movie Ride was a pretty cool ride.
Yeah.
I again, it's got like a history kind of theme to it a little bit.
Yeah.
So minus the alien part.
Yeah, gosh.
That part's very scary.
Did you go on Alien Encounter as a kid?
Yes.
So you did. You must have gone. Maybe that was when you saw Taylor Swift that trip because that would have been Stitch by then.
Yeah, I don't think. I think that might have been the same experience when I went to Space Mountain.
Maybe that was like traumatized.
Maybe that's why I was just
your grandpa took you on Alien Encounter and Space Mountain.
And you're like 4 years old.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, yeah, I'm done.
That's horrible. That's so funny.
No, I definitely think the Great Movie Ride is definitely missed.
Okay.
Sure.
And then what about your favorite restaurant?
Mama Melrose.
Really? Now it's gone.
Well, guess it's not my favorite anymore.
Well, but okay, that was your favorite. Interesting.
Mama Melrose was probably as you can tell, I'm a huge Hollywood Studios fan.
Yeah, we love Hollywood Studios.
I really enjoy Hollywood
favorite
Studios.
Park.
Yeah.
And what about favorite hotel you've stayed at on Disney property?
I think I've only stayed at the Swan and Dolphin and then the
Coronado Springs we stayed at with David and Gretchen. Yeah, we did.
I wanted to say it was the Colonial or something, but I guess that wasn't
Colonial.
I don't know. I thought that.
I'm trying to think what else. I guess we've really mostly stayed off property, and then we were living there. So you haven't stayed at as many. Like as a kid, you didn't go.
Yeah.
What about your dream hotel where you would want to stay if we had unlimited funds?
There's a really cool looking one. It's got like a brown beige tint.
You're really not helping me here.
It's got like a European kind of look to it.
Oh, the Riviera.
Is that what it is? It's
the
like
new one.
It's like off. It's not like by a park. It's kind of separate. It's like
on the Skyliner. But have you even been on the Skyliner? No, I've taken the kids, but you haven't been on the Skyliner. That's so crazy. Okay, the Riviera, I think is what you're talking about. Let me show you a picture.
Yeah, let's see if that's it. I remember driving past it and being like, "Oh, it's really cool." That might be it. Yeah, that might be it. I don't know. That looks.
It's very nice.
Looks somewhat like it. So.
Yeah. Now that's the most expensive hotel. I think more than Polynesian or Grand Floridian.
More than that Star Wars one?
Well, that's gone now. It closed.
Well, just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. What about your favorite nighttime show?
Is there a sports-oriented one?
Yeah, All-Star Sports.
But not like a
an expensive sports one?
Like a I don't know. That's like a kids sports one. They're like
no, there's not an adult sports hotel at Disney.
That'd be really cool.
Like an ESPN hotel.
Yeah. So I didn't know if that was a thing or not. So.
No.
Okay. Well, you can help.
What about your favorite nighttime show?
There's not really. I mean.
Phantasmic, the fireworks, or
it's probably one of the Magic Kingdom fireworks.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Is there a big difference between the regular one and the one at Halloween?
Yeah, well, I mean the one at Halloween's Halloween theme, but the regular one right now, Happily Ever After, we saw once, but it was when Eiley was pretty young, and it had the projections on the castle.
Yeah. I think that was probably my favorite.
Okay. What about what you're looking forward to most from all the announcements of what's coming to the Disney parks?
What's coming?
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Besides Villain Land.
The Monsters Inc. door coaster.
That's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
What else? Okay.
Villains Land. They're bringing cars to Frontierland, doing a Cars attraction.
Yeah, shoo.
The new Little Mermaid show, the Muppets taking over Rock and Roller Coaster. I feel like the Monsters Inc. is the answer.
Monsters Inc. just because it's a roller coaster and it just supports the interest for Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I know. Hollywood Studios, man. Even though that's kicking out your Mama Melrose. Isn't that tragic? That's what's going to go back there.
Just put it somewhere else.
I know. We've had this conversation.
Put Mama Melrose somewhere else.
Or they should have put Monsters Inc. area somewhere else.
Just put it in that old Pizza Planet place. That place can go.
That is so small. That would never
that place
fit.
Can go.
Okay, what about an item from your Disney bucket list? What's a Disney thing or park or experience that you're like, I would pay? You can, whatever your heart can think of. Like a behind-the-scenes tour or going to an overseas park or a cruise, or what is top of your Disney bucket list?
Top of my Disney bucket list.
Like Tokyo Disney, Shanghai Disney, Disney cruise, I guess, to Norway or Alaska or wherever. Staying in the Riviera for a week.
So it's got to be a realistic thing now.
Well, I mean...
It couldn't be like a made-up thing, right?
What's your made-up thing?
I think it'd be pretty cool if I had any sort of engineering experience to be able to design a roller coaster.
I mean, yeah.
That would be, to be able to design
What would you design?
I'm curious to see the Spider-Man ride this summer.
I think you're going to be
I'm
disappointed.
going to be a little disappointed, but I think some sort of like superhero kind of themed, like a Spider-Man kind of like through the Spider-Verse or something like that.
I know, we get gypped because what's it called? Universal Islands of Adventure has the Marvel like rights for the theme parks over here, so we can't really like. So but in overseas in Shanghai, I believe they're building a whole Spider-Man land.
Well,
let's go to Shanghai.
Then we got to go. So
we're going to Shanghai. Okay. Yep, even though you said you'd never go back to China, Maddie's been in China. He went to Beijing in 2008. To play basketball.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so what do you think makes Disney so unique or special compared to like Universal or Islands of Adventure?
I definitely feel like it has like when you go to some of those other parks, it's you just kind of go there for the day, right? You go there for the day, you enjoy it, but you don't really create an experience per se or like memories. At least I don't attribute those other parks as making memories. Whereas when I think of Disney, I think of like we were kind of talking about, right? We can kind of sit back and reflect 15 years ago and, recall. And then there's obviously some funny things experiences we've had at other parks that we can recall. But I think there's just much more of I don't know, just this like homey feel. And I will say, like, we went in, what was that, September? In Virginia to
Busch Gardens.
Mm-hmm. And that was I mean, you definitely gain an appreciation for how well Disney does things when you have a family. Like it was not good for
kids.
It was good if if I was like 10 years younger and could handle like intense roller coasters. But having a family, like you gain much more of an appreciation for Disney with how well it's structured.
And just, opportunities for everybody. Like, intense, not intense, good rider swap, like, for the kids.
Yeah, I feel like they just do a really good job of keeping the focus, the center kind of around the family, right? Like, it's a really good really good atmosphere when you're there. And obviously, besides the post 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon when everyone's just kind of dragging and needs a sugar kick or something,
or a nap
but I think it's when you think of Disney you think of like memories. That's what I attribute it to.
So are you grateful that I have made you into a Disney liker? I don't even know if I can say lover.
I mean I think it definitely has made for a lot of good experiences, and I'm thankful that we've been able to share those experiences together, and now we have the opportunity to share those experiences with the girls. So making memories, I guess, is kind of the kind of joy in going there.
Yeah, and pretty soon we'll be heading to Disneyland, which we haven't been to since 2018, our one and only time, and it was together, which is kind of cool.
Been a minute, yep.
So, all right. Well, thanks for coming on. We're looking forward to having you back on in a couple weeks to we're going to do some pre-trip planning. We've got a big trip coming up here, and 70th anniversary celebration at Disneyland. Our 10th wedding anniversary is coming up here really soon in just a couple days.
Wow.
So, we've been together 17 years, 10 years married.
Woo!
Time is flying. 2 children, a dog. It's crazy. Time flies. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for listening, and we will catch you next time, and look forward in a couple of weeks for Maddie coming back to talk about our Disneyland trip.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Have a great week. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give us a follow on Instagram at Soarin Around WDW Pod, where we share fun reels, throwback photos, and dive into our old versus new debates. If you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. And for our Spotify listeners, a follow and a 5-star review would mean the world. If you're listening on Apple, hit that 5-star button and leave us a written review as well. Thanks again for joining us. See you next time.